What did I want to say? I don't know. Why am I saying words? I don't know. Okay, sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Casey and I do health and beauty videos here on YouTube. Unless you are from my Instagram or know me personally, you do not know the fact that I've just recently lost 20 pounds and counting. Today I'm going to be sharing with you one thing that I think is kind of underestimated as far as a weight loss tool or weight gain if you're trying to accomplish that as well, is the Renpho body composition Bluetooth scale, which is going to be like this. This is mine. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the first question I'm going to answer is, what is the scale? It's not your ordinary fruit scale. It wouldn't be much of a video if it was. So as I mentioned, this is a body composition scale. Now, what fanciness is that? This little fella, it measures, I gotta read it because I don't know off my head. Body fat percent, body water, skeletal muscle, BMR, so your basal metabolic rate, fat-free body weight, subcutaneous fat, so the fat that's kind of more cosmetic, that people care about, so the jiggly fat, and then visceral fat, the fat which is around your organs, muscle mass, bone mass, protein, calculates your metabolic age, certainly your weight, and calculates your BMI, which isn't really important, but that's a topic for another day. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how on earth can a scale do that? And I would be insane to sit here and tell you that this thing does it so accurately, like a DEXA scan. No, that isn't the case. This guy, just some similar concept, sends an electrode through your body and it measures the resistance of different compositions, and that's how it can figure it out. I'm not going to go into all the physics of it to bore anyone. I'd probably misexplain that as well. So moving on, the point is that it isn't 100% accurate, no, but for something off of Amazon, it's a pretty good tool and is much better than your standard scale. Also on that topic, you are stepping on the same scale every day. You're measuring your measurements relative to the same scale. So if it's off by 1% or not, it's not the biggest deal because you're just comparing the measurement to yourself, whether you lost a pound on this scale or that scale. Even though the start and end points may differ, the change in your weight is still going to be the same, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the price of this guy. So this is $53.99 Canadian off of Amazon, which I know sounds kind of steep for a scale. It is steep for a scale. That being said, I guarantee since the start of this pandemic, you have spent $53.99 on something way stupider that you didn't need off of Amazon. So I don't think it's the dumbest expense investment, at least, in my opinion. I actually like the look of the scale compared to, I had a nasty red one before. That's my favorite color, but it was mank. This one here is really cute. As cute as a scale can be, because I don't know why I'm calling a scale cute, but it's good in your bathroom. It's not offensive or anything like that. It is like a glass situation here at the top. I said it's IA. Wow. Do I love it? Why am I sitting here on my floor talking about this freaking scale? Let me tell you. The reason I really like this scale and why I thought it was beneficial for myself as a tool when I was trying to lose weight, when I was losing weight, when I am losing weight right now. Oh my gosh. You probably heard the saying, your weight is just a number. And if you're someone that struggles with body image issues, then maybe that means that you're not defined by it and you don't step on a scale very frequently, and that's totally fine. If you're someone who's comfortable doing that and you're trying to make progress, whether you're looking to gain or lose weight, and you need that sort of dictating factor to the variant to measure your changes on, your weight, if you just step on a standard scale, includes your muscle and your fat mass, right? Not everything in between. That being said, what happens with a lot of people when they lose weight and let's say they start a diet or they start an exercise thing or whatever, they're in a calorie deficit, you will lose a lot of weight initially very fast, and what that is mostly water weight. What happens after that is that you start to almost plateau, but you're not really, you're just not losing weight at such an excessive rate. And it's going to be very discouraging for people, and they don't really know what the heck is happening because they haven't changed anything, but the scale isn't really moving much. That's where this fella comes in, because it will show you these things. In these situations, you can see, okay, look, I'm not losing weight per se, but my body composition is changing. So maybe your body fat percent is going down a bit, or your muscle mass is tweaked up, what may have you. I think it's a very helpful tool to have when you're trying to make those changes. It's also a really good eye-opener in my opinion, in the sense that things like the visceral fat, so the fat around your organs, it's really interesting to see what that number is like, because then I know most people trying to lose weight, I say you may be trying to gain weight, what may have you, I'm just talking from my experience, but I know that most people trying to lose weight, the primary goal is from an aesthetics aspect. I know that there's health reasons and whatnot, blah, 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 but for those who want to do it for visual purposes or just the way they feel, seeing the health aspect of it, so the visceral fat and things like that, oh, that rhymed, is very interesting to see, and it's almost like an extra motivator, which I thought was really good for me. So as I previously mentioned, the scale is a Bluetooth scale. That means that you can download an app on your phone or whatever device you're using, iPad, I don't know what gadgets you got. But you download the app, make yourself a little profile, connect the scale, step on her, bam, information goes straight to your phone, which is what I use. I use my phone, it goes in the app. It's amazing. I must say, being able to step on it and the information just goes right there. I know that sounds so like first world, but so did AirPods or wireless headphones at the start. It's crazy what a little wire can change. It's crazy what just stepping on a scale can do. And it going to your phone, I absolutely love it. Hence one of the reasons why I'm sitting here on my floor talking about it again. If you've ever used any sort of tracking app for your weight or body measurements, if you're trying to lose or gain weight, one neat thing is that they typically will graph that information for you, so you can view it weekly, monthly, or yearly. And if you're someone such as myself, a very visual person, it's really nice to be able to see those sorts of graphs, because what you can see on those graphs are overall trends. And that's something that I thought with this app is really neat. Just like those other tracking apps, it graphs everything. It graphs everything I previously discussed that it measures. So body fat percent, muscle mass, bone something, I don't even remember, but it's really cool to see, because weight loss or weight gain, if you're trying to make any sort of changes to your body, or I guess in general life lesson there, it's never just a consistent situation. You're always dealing with ups and downs. Maybe one night you had pizza and you ate a bit more in the morning, maybe you ate most of your calories early on in the day, the previous day, so you weigh a little bit less the following day, what it may be. Your weight loss is going to look like this. But as long as the overall trend is going downwards, you're a happy gal. Seeing those graphs is very helpful in my opinion, because it motivates you to keep going, because even though you're maybe doing 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards, you're not getting caught up so much on the one going backwards, because you're seeing the overall trend downwards if you're trying to lose weight, upwards if you're trying to gain weight, whatever your goals are. You can see that you're achieving that overall, let's say on the weekly basis or monthly basis or maybe yearly. You're not so fixated on the fact that maybe you gained a pound overnight or you lost a pound overnight, and little things like that, which is something I used to struggle with a lot. When I just had my standard scale, I would step on it, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I've gained a pound overnight. I'm never eating whatever I ate the previous night before. Very unhealthy mentality. I know. That's someone I used to be. Still working on it. But I think being able to go back and see that even though there's this little bump on that graph, the entire graph looks like this. So it's not the end of the world by any means. And it's nice to be able to see those sorts of graphs for body fat percent, because I'm looking, okay, it's not all the muscle mass that I've lost because I'm not able to lift right now with gym's closed and I'm just doing at-home workouts and things like that. So it's really neat to see the progress that I've made in my diet. That means, okay, we're doing pretty good with the protein aspect of it, which I'm not going to dissect into macros and things like that and how that changes your composition. But I think it's a very useful tool for people that are trying to lose weight and ensuring that it's fat that is what is coming off, and that progress is still being made even though it's not every single day. Another really cool thing that I like about this scale is just in general the fact that it can kind of break down what your weight number encompasses, so you can see your body fat percent. I know say that a lot as an example, but other aspects of it, how much of that is your visceral, how much of that is subcutaneous, if I said that right, and things like that. And then your water, how much water you're drinking. It's insane to see how I thought I was drinking enough water, but I really wasn't. And then when I actually started making sure that I was intaking enough water daily, the graph drastically changed. And when this graph went up with the water, this went down with my weight and body fat. So it's really cool to see how things correlate, and they do. We all know this, that it affects everything, but I'm not going to get into that. So muscle weighs more than fat, right? It's denser tissue. When I was just stepping on a normal scale, an unhealthy thought that I kept having, or an excuse at least, was, oh, it's a really high number, it's higher than I want it to be, but I don't know what percent of that is fat. And what really opened my eyes one time is at my previous gym, I went for a DEXA scan. And when I saw my body fat percent, oh, I cried for a very long time because it's a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. And a lot of people say, I have a bigger chest, so a lot of people think, okay, well, maybe it's all that, maybe a portion, but there's no way that can account for what that entire number was. And I can tell you that I've gone down by 5 or 6% body fat since I had that DEXA scan, which is something I'm really proud about. And it's awesome because I can see that that's how much body fat percent I've gone down, and not just in pounds, which is really cool in my opinion. And I can see the muscle that I've gained because let's say that I changed my diet and I'm changing my body composition, things like that. If I had gained a poop ton of muscle and I was just stepping on an ordinary scale and I wasn't able to go back for another DEXA scan or something like that because those things are expensive, and I got that one for free, I would be very discouraged, right? I would think I'm not making any sort of progress and things like that. I mean, you can always use a tape measure, what may have you, but there's so much room for human error, in my personal opinion. But it is a good tool, and progress pictures, of course. However, if you're very meticulous, such as myself, very scientific, and like to see the numbers and the graphs and whatnot, the scale is an excellent, excellent tool, so that you're not getting tripped up in the, oh, this is how much I weigh, but maybe this much is muscle, oh, but this much is fat, and blah, blah, blah. You have it sort of broken down for you. So there's no room for excuses, which is another thing I love about this scale. Alright, you guys, so to conclude, I evidently really like this scale. I think it's an excellent tool for anyone who is trying to lose weight, from my personal experience, and probably those trying to gain weight as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry it was kind of all over the place, but I'm working on it. If there's anything you liked or disliked, once again, you can comment that down below, or you can DM me on Instagram. I'll leave my handle in the description box down below. Like it if you liked the video, please, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you again for watching, and bye for now.